championships, guys. We have 8 teams competing in our Halo 3 tournament, the top 8 teams in the world, and there's a $100,000 prize waiting for the first place finisher. And I think it's time to break down our matches. We're going to kick it off with our round 1 matches. The first one that we'll be showing on 12 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting it. It's Status Quo versus Dynasty, guys. Status Quo, of course, our 4th seed going up against Dynasty, our 5th seed. But let's kick this one off by talking about Status Quo. Scott, fill me in.
Well, you know, Chris, this is the one team, there's 2 teams that didn't change their roster, and this is one of them. And because of that, they have been one of the most consistent teams on the circuit. They have finished 3 back-to-back fourth place finishes. So not back-to-back, but 3 fourth place finishes. And they've secured themselves as such a consistent team. And the thing I like about this team is that Flamesword has really showed up and become the leader of this squad.
Yeah, Scott, you really hit on the greatest point about this team, and the fact is that their consistency stems from the fact they've had the exact same members all year long. They've started to get incredibly comfortable with each other, and right now they're probably playing the best Halo of their life. They had great practice at the 6-team LAN, and they're firing all cylinders coming into this event.
Status Quo looking dangerous, guys, winning the tournament at the 6-team LAN. These guys are prepared. Flamesword, he said if we finish in the top 2, I have to eat a fistful of bananas. Flamesword, I'll do it, buddy. But let's talk about the team they're going up against here, and that's Dynasty, the team that was the shocker of all of DC.
Yeah, and Chris, this squad really formed because of Heinz. As soon as Tzoxic left this squad, Heinz just really gelled with this team. He's been such an incredible asset, and he's developed into a leader. He's never been a leader on any other team he's been on, and it shows how well he can play.
Yeah, this team has been playing great. Even in DC, they 3-0'd Final Boss in the winner's bracket, the eventual tournament winner, eventually losing to them in the loser's bracket finals in a tough 11-game series. This team has really come a long way. Their individual talent is undeniable. They have some incredible players.
All right, well, guys, this matchup actually happened just last tournament in DC with Dynasty taking down Status Quo in the upset. What do you expect to see in the rematch?
Well, I'm going to be looking at certain players, and the one player I'm going to be looking at most is going to be Enable. This kid has just been dynamite all season long. He's actually Red Bull's newest sponsored player, their 2nd player ever after Walshy. Enable is a killer. He's a killing machine. Pure Slayer in the form. I'm really going to look for him to step it up. If SQ wants any chance of doing or winning this tournament, he's going to have to lead him there.
And Scott, last event we saw Dynasty see incredible success. Who are you looking out for from them to step it up here again in Dallas?
You know, I was just talking about him. I got to give all the props in the world to Heinz. Heinz on this team is the X factor. He is the captain. He is the vocal leader. He is the glue to this team. As long as he's doing everything he's supposed to, this team's going to win. They have a tough road right now, Chris, and they need a leader to step up.
Heinz is that guy.
Heinz is that guy.
Alrighty, so you're looking out for Enable from Status Quo. You're watching Heinz. I'm going to be watching all 8 players. Incredible matchup. That's going to be the best way to kick off the entire tournament. Can't wait for that. But let's move on now to our second matchup, where we have 3rd-seeded Triggers Down taking on 6th-seeded Believe the Hype here. And last time around, we saw Triggers Down smack BTH around a little bit. But let's talk about this BTH lineup, one of the nastiest squads competing here this weekend.
Yeah, Believe the Hype, there's so much talent on this team. It's just hard to even fathom how much talent is on this team. But they haven't come out, but they haven't been into the top 3, and their teamwork is just not up to par as you would expect it. But that's going to happen. When you have 4 main Slayers on a team, it is going to take a tournament or 2 just to get used to one another. And I mean, these guys as high as 3rd place when all of them, each of them last year has at least been in the top 2.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. No, Believe the Hype. They look amazing on paper. In DC, they didn't perform, but you know they did go to the 6-team LAN. They got a lot of practice, and I'm expecting a much stronger squad this time around. But Chris, let's move on and talk about Triggers Down here.
Yeah, well, Triggers Down started the season in Orlando not playing the best. They ended up picking up Tots and Best Man, dropping SK and Pistola, and they really just meshed from there. This team is just a well-built team. They have great skill players. They have great communication. Everything about this team, I like everything about this team. They've been playing fantastic, getting 2nd place in DC. I'm excited to see what they do here.
Triggers Down looking strong here. Now, guys, as I mentioned earlier, last time these 2 teams met up, I actually picked this matchup, Believe the Hype Triggers Down, to put up on the main stage over Final Boss versus Straight Rippin', because I thought it would go to 5 games and be extremely close. Triggers Down swept the series in one of the fastest series we've ever seen. What do you expect to see in the rematch, and what is Believe the Hype going to need to do to bounce back and make sure that that doesn't happen again?
You know, Believe the Hype really just needs to focus on this one, Chris. They need to concentrate. No team should ever get steamrolled that bad. If you're in the top 8, you need to put at least last 30 minutes.
Yeah, and this is really where a team captain or a coach needs to step up. They really couldn't get back from any of the losses against Triggers Down. You could see it in their faces. They were demoralized the entire time. They need someone from their team to step up, take the captain's role, and try to rally the troops.
All right, well, remember, Believe the Hype. You're reigning champions. They won the tournament last year in 2009. Demon D and Maniac on that squad. They're going to try and win another 100 grand. We'll see how that plays out. Guys, that's our first 2 matches. We're going to a commercial break. When we come back, we got Final Boss and Friends to talk about.